Hi friends, welcome to one more video analysis with me today. Today we are going to talk about a pharma company which is hyped across social media. The company has performed very poorly over the last 2 to 4 quarters but has been a phenomenal wealth creator over the last 4 or 5 years. We are talking about Laurus Labs. We've seen that the stock has corrected from the top by 50% and everybody is wondering what is wrong with the company. So today in this video we are going to talk about the business of Laurus Labs, what is happening on the result side of it, the slowdown that the company is really experiencing, and finally we will give you a key conclusion that what do you need to do for the future in this stock. Now before we start, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that we can share even more interesting insights with all of you. Now let's talk about the business of Laurus Labs. As you can already see on the screen, Laurus Labs is an active pharmaceutical ingredient maker. It predominantly operates in two fields, API and formulations businesses, and custom synthesis and biotechnology are the other two verticals. Laurus Labs started in 2018 as an ARV player, antiretroviral player. So what do you mean by antiretroviral? Antiretroviral is a API that is used in the manufacturing of HIV drugs. So predominantly it started with an ARV API and then it diversified into many other APIs. It owns about 11 manufacturing sites and has 74 DMFs, has filed 32 ANDAs. In 2020, it acquired Rishore Life Sciences and diversified into the biosynthesis businesses. As you can see already on the screen, it has got 4 verticals. The API vertical contributes about 43%, the CDMO vertical contributes about 36%, the FDF segment contributes about 19%, and the biosynthesis, which is a very small business, contributes just about 2% of its overall revenue. If we talk about every sector, every division, the first division is the active pharmaceutical ingredient. As I already said that Laurus started with the antiretroviral API which was used in HIV treatment, and now it has slowly diversified into 4 or 5 other APIs. For example, the anti-diabetic API, the cardiovascular API, it is also into proton pump inhibitors. So it has diversified predominantly from an API maker, from an ARV API maker to various other APIs that it really manufactures. This is the first business that it has got, the basic business of Laurus, which is the API business. Then let's go on to the FDF business. On the FDF business, Laurus makes oral solid formulations. It supplies this into LMIC, North America and Europe. Again, same kind of business where it makes ARV FDF, anti-diabetic FDF and various other FDFs that are already listed on your screen. Then let's go on to the third business. The third business is the CDMO business, where Laurus provides contract development and manufacturing services for various pharmaceutical players. It offers these services across nutraceuticals, dietary supplements and various other divisions. So this is a business which has got massive scope for scale up for Laurus, and as we will see in the coming slides, this business is growing really well for Laurus. Now let's come on to the last business. The last business is the Laurus biosynthesis business. Laurus acquired this business in 2020 and it is a new age business where gene development, clone development, strain engineering and all of these new age technologies Laurus is trying to master. So it is a business where only 2% of the revenue comes out. However, over a longer period of time, massive scale up of Laurus Bio is one trigger that we really need to watch out for. Now let's look at Laurus since 2018. As I said, Laurus started just with an ARV API business and slowly and steadily they have diversified into a lot of other APIs. As you can see on the screen, in 2018, 73% of Laurus's business came from the ARV API. This has slowly come down to 37%, where other APIs and FDF and CDMO businesses have started to contribute a larger chunk of the portion. So Laurus is much more diversified, much more risk managed business than before it was in 2018. That was the first point that happened since 2018. The second point that really happened since 2018 was the China plus one factor. Ever since COVID came in, People wanted to diversify their base out of China, and because of this, companies like Laurus benefited massively. So China Plus One is another major factor that helped Laurus scale up ever since 2018. So now let's straight away talk about the Q1 FY24 results. If you look at the screen, for Q1 FY24, the margins declined by 23%, the net profit fell by 90%, and one of the major issues for Laurus was the operating margins, which was hovering before in the range of 25 to 30%, fell just to 14.2%. So what is really going on with Laurus? There are a couple of things that we really need to understand. Point number one is there is destocking of APIs across the channel, and because of which there is very weak demand. Because there is weak demand, there is a pricing pressure that Laurus, not only Laurus, all other API makers are really facing, and that really sets up the theme for the entire API space. If we look at the FDF space, on the FDF space we see again there was a sharp slowdown in the business. The company experienced an operating deleverage because pharma companies were not picking up revenues, and the business also experienced a sharp erosion in pricing. The management expects this to recover from Q2. However, the management has been guiding every quarter that the business has bottomed out. We need to take the management guidance with a pinch of salt. Similarly, in the API business, again, the non-ARV API business as well as the ARV business, both of them saw a huge slowdown, and because of which there was pricing pressure and pricing erosion, and the slowdown in both FDF and API business will continue to remain at least for Q2, and from Q3 or Q4 onwards we should see a recovery. Now let's see the custom synthesis business. The custom synthesis business optically shows a 57% decline. However, in the base quarter we have seen that Laurus had a very big order that they had serviced, because of which now the fall in revenue is massive. However, the custom synthesis business, they have signed a multi-year contract with a global crop maker, and the outlook continues to be very bright. So the CDMO business is doing really well, and the scale up over the next 2 to 4 quarters will be very good on the CDMO business. Now let's talk about the Laurus biosynthesis business. The biosynthesis business is a very small business which has a potential to become a very big business over the next 5, 7, 10 years. So right now at this stage it is a very insignificant business which we need to just clearly monitor what is happening. As you can see on the screen, year on year growth because of the smaller base is at about 67%. So nothing to complain about on the Laurus biosynthesis business. However, we need to clearly monitor the scale up that happens. So net what is happening on Laurus, and what is the management commentary? As you can see on the screen, the management says that within the API business they are continuing to face a lot of slowdown. FY24 will be extremely difficult year for Laurus. No revenue guidance has been given by the management. In FY25 there are going to be major triggers for the company. In FY25, the animal CDMO business will be a key trigger. The API and the FDF business is expected to slowly recover from Q2 onwards. However, this remains to be seen how much of this becomes a reality on the ground. Large API volumes will only be seen in FY25. Laurus Bio will continue to see a gradual ramp up as we have clearly seen. Now on the margins, the management remains very non-committal about the margins. Management at one point had said that the margins will not erode below 20%. Now the margins have come down to 14%. We saw a negative operating leverage play out because of lower offtake on API and FDF business. On top of it, there was a pricing pressure as well. So net what is really happening is, because of lower offtake, the margin erosion continues to see. Now over the next 2 to 4 quarters, what we need to really see if the offtake really recovers, and because of this margin could really recover. But net we feel that the margins are hitting a rock bottom. From here on, margin should really improve. So what are the risks for Laurus? Point number one is the recovery of API and FDF business could be elongated over a period of time. The management has said that the recovery could happen in Q2. However, we feel the entire year could be very difficult for Laurus, and only in FY25 the the recovery could really happen. A lot of Laurus's API capex is going to come online by FY25, and the execution of this capex continues to be a very big risk for Laurus. The ramp up of CDMO and biosynthesis business continues to be a very big trigger for Laurus. If both of these businesses ramp up according to estimates, then the company will do really well. So net execution of capex, recovery of the API and the API and the FDF business remain the key monitorable for Laurus. Now let's talk about the valuation. The valuation, if you look at it, Laurus has a great history of strong execution capabilities. Over the next 2 years, Laurus has a strong pipeline of APIs and FDF business capex that is coming online together with the CDMO business. If we look at the valuation, Laurus trades at about 15 times EV to EBITDA. This is certainly not cheap at this stage. However, given the strong execution capabilities, we need to clearly track how the company recovers from its downturn. So what is the key conclusion that you can take away from this video? Laurus is a great business which has a strong execution capability. The business is undergoing a severe downturn because the entire pharma pack is facing demand issues. Within the API and the FDF space, the demand has not recovered, and in our opinion, the demand will not recover at least until the end of this year or maybe early next year. The ramp up of the CDMO business needs to be clearly seen. The animal health order that Laurus has got in the CDMO business, the execution of that business needs to be clearly seen. The pricing pressure on the API and the FDF side needs to be clearly monitored, and the ramp up of the Laurus bio business needs to be monitored. If we see all of these things properly over the next 2 to 4 years, Laurus Labs business will continue to do really well. The business is undergoing a severe downturn at this stage, but as we all know, when a business undergoes a severe downturn, that's a great time to buy a stock.